Shamps and giggles, history, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective.
Yeah, Jack Cure. I think that tune's called Sticky, actually.
Yes.
Bad tune, yeah. You know them tune there?
Yeah, Sticky.
But it's just a classic. And our website, I said we're going to give you the website, is www.shampsandgiggles.co.uk. We're also on the WhatsApp, the Instagram, and so on. The logo is, as you can see in the background there, Shamps and Giggles. That's the one on our YouTube as well. And then there's a few radio stations.
Yep. We're on we're on a Monday, we're on blackculturalradio.com. That's a Monday evening. A Tuesday evening, 8 till 10, we're on Rhythm Connection radio.com. Wednesday evening, we're on rocksolid.co.uk. On Thursday, we're back on blackculturalradio.com. On a Saturday, we're on slamradio.co.uk. And then on a Saturday evening, we're on rocksolidfm.co.uk. Sunday, we're back on, this is in the evening, rhythmconnectionradio.com. And we're also on slamradio.com in the afternoons. So check us out. More to come, and we're just getting bigger and better.
Yeah, and the conversation just flowing more and more. It's quite interesting. As I say, we start at the beginning of the week talking about one thing, which at the beginning of the week, there was this article, or LBC was talking about it, because they talk about everything, don't they? Where somebody's saying how the white children from working class homes are being failed in education. Now, when we look at the stats, the data, it was showing that their let's say their success rate was, I don't know, 27%. I had it written down somewhere. And because that of black people was a little bit higher, it wasn't only a little bit higher, but it wasn't a lot higher, which it should have been a lot higher. See, let's just break it down. White people make up the majority of the country, 95%, right? Black people make up 5%. So if black people, their little 5%, and that's black, that's BAME, that's all the ethnicities, right? If that little 5% is doing, succeeding at a level of 38% across the curriculum, right? And the white group is succeeding at 22% across the curriculum. Yeah. What you got to realize is the 5% is fewer people, right? So 38% for a handful of people is less, right? Imagine 38% of a million, but 22% of 50 million. Well, of course, I would prefer 22% at that point, wouldn't I? Wouldn't you? 22% of 50 million or 38% of a million. What would you take? Look, big numbers on a Friday night. But a smaller percentage of a larger number is worth more. Bottom.
It's a no-brainer. That's why no one ain't talking. We all want 22%.
So my point is, when they try and put this kind of, they're appealing to the people that obviously can't figure it out and just think, ooh, yeah, we're not doing so well. 22% and they're getting 38. That's got to be wrong. But no, it's not wrong. It's just like if you traveled somewhere, a group of you, if there's 50 of you, well, you're going to visit less locations. If there's 10 of you, you'll visit more locations. Why? It's easier to move a group of 10 people than it is to move a group of 50 people. So this white children is being failed is rubbish. And you know the other thing about it? Just to talk the thing and hit the nail, drive the other thing about it is their white children with lesser of an education, we all know that they'll still get the job. You're going to show up with more qualifications and done more and all the rest of it. But them with their lesser qualifications, they'll be the one to get the job and be your manager. So where's this argument come from? They're being failed in education. Who makes up that argument? Where that come from? White people, they're not being let off. They're not failing. They're not behind and all the rest of it. Oh, by the way, I can't play it because what's his name? Nigel, isn't it? Idris. He had a few words to say about this. What's it? But obviously, it's not something that can be repeated. But yeah, the white youth, they're not being failed at all. They will still get the job. It's a different playing field. We've got to work harder so that we can get something. Them, they don't have to work as hard and they'll still get. It'll still just be given to them. That's why Donald Trump is in the White House. Not the smartest guy on the planet. Not the smartest guy on the planet. But yet, see him there. President, despite make Obama do half the things that Trump done. Insurrectionist. Half the things that Trump does, see Obama be there. Come on now. Color Queen, your hands up. You can't see.
It's always going to be difficult because we're dealing with systemic racism, aren't we? So when it comes to the Caucasian, irrespective if they have less qualifications, they're going to be pushed to the front. But if we remember back in the 70s, going back further, slavery didn't break up our family units. In the 70s, they started breaking down the family units. There was always a dad in the home, which meant that our boys were kept on the straight and narrow. And they took out things like the apprenticeships. We got to the point that in schools that they took out the apprenticeship. So when there's no apprenticeships for the children per se, it makes it really, really difficult. So even if our boys were not really academic, which a lot of them are, because they are kind of encouraged to be more athletic, when a lot of them are very, very bright. So, and our boys, when they go into school, I would say an overall majority are far, far brighter than maybe their white counterparts that are just dumbed down. And this is why we do in our own community, building our own infrastructures. We do need schools for ourselves because let's face it, the Caucasian community doesn't really care whether our children are educated or not.
No.
Doesn't really care. And Barack Obama, on my final point, he was in office 2 terms, 8 years. He never, to be fair to him, he never actually said he was going to do anything for Black people, and he didn't. And where between Joe Biden and Trump, Black people vote out of fear because basically they knew that possibly Trump would be worse than Biden, so they voted for Biden.
Well, there you have it. And of course, many who voted for Trump literally have egg on their face as they're going through this procedure and process of seeing the meltdown that's going on and the information that's coming out of the White House right now. Interesting you said, though, how taking the fathers out the home and the effect on the children. It's very true. And this is one of the things they've done. I think it's their policy over here that the children get rid of the dad quick time, children remain with, and that idea of apprenticeship, because a lot of times you do see these companies where it's father and son, you know, father and son this, father and son that, and of course that's not going to happen. You can't pass on the trade as a parent if you're not around the children. So yeah, the white children, they're not being failed. They'll get a job. I've seen it. They'll get a job anyway. But the Black youth, listen, you best come with your belt, your braces, your shoelace tie, your teeth bright, everything, and have that honors list for them to recognize you. And it is very true. So this comment here, white children being failed, is just what is bait. I think that's what you can call it. It's clickbait. And it can easily be dumbed down. Crazy cousin, your hand is up. What things?
I did laugh when I heard this, but it isn't funny. I don't laugh because, you know, and there's always that thing about colonization in reverse. When I say that, I'm thinking about, what's that lovely woman, the poet? Anyway,
Maya Angelou.
no, a Jamaican one. Oh
Okay.
God. Anyway, never mind.
Mm.
It's really funny that the despite everything that they've done to restrict the progress of everybody that's not white, that they're still failing. So what is it that they need to do to actually be successful? What does success look like for them? On the other hand, on the other side of that, we are working extremely hard. We have worked extremely hard and have been undermined, underreported, and undercelebrated. What the hell do they want? What do they want? We've got gifted children that are overlooked. You go into the workplace, you're put to work underneath somebody who can't possibly do the job. You can do it with your eyes shut, but you're there to make your boss look good. What the hell do they want? You cannot compete. I mean, even if, all right, so the Asians supposedly outstrip Caribbean, but why? It's not a competition. We all have different strengths. It's about exercising those strengths in the areas where we can excel. And not everyone's going to be a genius. What is it that they want?
Right. And by the way, as you say, it's not a race. It's not a comparison chart. You can't compare it to the black boys because we're on a different playing field. Black children on a playing field where they have to excel. Their parents have to be behind them, or they're not going to get anything. The white youth, they'll still get the job. They still get the job. I mean, that's the thing. They're still going to put food on their table. The black youth, he can have the list of stuff, and meanwhile, he will not get the job. He's got the list, he's got the qualifications, and he will not get the job. Hello. See, so it's just this is false news. And here you are, Louise Burnett.
Yes, Louise Bennett. She's
Louise
got
Bennett.
that, because Severe and I studied together. She got that poem called Colonization in Reverse. And every time it came up where Black people were doing something that the whitey didn't like, oh, it's not colonization in reverse. They disputed, bloody hell, yes it is. Yes it is. Because if you'd left people where they were, there wouldn't be an underdeveloped Africa. The news African society was way ahead of what was going on in England. And even up to the other day, I read that the Greeks stole the history from the Egyptians. Come on, man.
There you go. There you go.
The truth is coming out. It's one of those things. It can stay submerged for a certain amount of time, and then it will just come out. It's coming out. How can they? What is their argument against that now? Disprove that this happened. There were sewages and drain pipes, high-rise buildings going on. Do you know they crushed Timbuktu because it had the first university? How much more evil do you need to do just to promote yourself as the innovator when you're not?
There you are. There you are. Read the book, How the European Underdeveloped Africa. And they did that.
What's his name? Oh God, I've got that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walter
and
Rodney.
It killed him.
Walter Rodney.
That's it. I've got that book. No.
There you are. And so, but the thing about it, when you hear them come at this comment, white children, working class children being failed, 100% they lying. Tyler Queen's got a hand up.
Yeah, they've got the chaputza, the temerity, the audacity to say this when historically what we've been through as African people of colour, and we've struggled. And oftentimes in the school system, our children were underrepresented, especially if they didn't have a father in the meeting, at parents' meeting, this kind of stuff. So why in the world, now that our children are excelling, it's an issue and it's a problem? Because they really didn't care when our children were failing at the end of the day. They now have an issue because our children are doing very, very well, because this is Black excellence. This is what it is. Because, and bearing in mind, and I'm going to touch on the subject, our boys are so phenomenal and so amazing. This is why they would be happy for them to be on the road. In America, they talk about black on black killing. But prior to that, the Jews were killing themselves, the Irish were killing themselves, and the Italians were killing themselves. What does the American government do? They gave the fire department to the Italians, they gave the police department to the Irish, and they gave the city centre, sort of like what we call the government council, to the Jews, so that they could then move up out of those areas. And then what happened? The Black people then obviously took what was left. So how dare they have the chutzpah to turn round and say, oops, they're killing each other at the end of the day. If we stick together as a race of African people and build our schools and build our businesses and employ, when there's a Caucasian construction company, I was in Wood Green the other day and I looked at the board because they're building up the civic centre, and I counted the council leaders, and there was about 45 of them, and there was only 4 African people in that group of councillors. Okay? Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. So we have to be so united and so strong. Our own banks, our own hair care shops, we are still going to other people to hair care, but that's another story. But what I'm saying is that if we continue to believe in ourselves and that our children believe in themselves, I truly believe that we're destined for greatness. I believe it. I believe that.
We're doing it now.
We're doing it
now. It's all happening. That's why they put out this foolishness, because they're acting like we're running ahead. No, we're doing our own thing. It's not a comparison show. Thank you very much, and leave us to it. Don't try and compare us to the white boys. The white boys are doing very well, thank you. Them have a job, them I get fed, and in the benefit system, as we learned with Grenfell, works in their favor. They're the ones getting the cream of the crop regarding housing. Lisa, you got your hand up, part of the things. I mean, how dare they? Come on. Anybody could see.
The article mentions that, or the news mentioned that, it's working class white children who are underachieving. I personally believe, so that's not the whole of all white children. Working class, they're picking out. So in saying that, sometimes 2 things can be right at the same time, I believe.
Yeah.
That, yes, these kids could be underachieving. Now, if you, depending on where they're taking this proportion of information from, they're doing their research and they're calculating their, they're getting their data from, there's going to be an element of not just them underachieving, but also those from minorities who are underachieving. Now, if the government puts in place measures to, withdraw certain services or to make classes bigger, that would include other children from different backgrounds, should I say, so those who are Asian, African, Caribbean, etc., they're also going to experience the same underachievement, potentially. However, in this study that they did, they're looking at the white children. And it is for politics' sake that they're bringing it out. Because they're rinsing out everything else. Now, there's so many things happening in the news at the moment. And I honestly believe that they've got to, it's almost like a news need to, let's divert their attention and focus on this because there is also an agenda. Two things could be right at the same time. Yep, the kids could be underachieving, but also there are other children who have been underachieving, but because children from ethnic groups, Black, Asian, what have you, understand the challenges that we've got to go through and their children have got to go through, there is an emphasis on ensuring that the children get educated and they focus on their education. I think that's the only difference.
Yeah, you know, and this is obviously on this GB News or Talk, whatever it is, you know, and, you know, white kids get an F. So white working class children behind in all but 21 UK schools. Now, let's bear in mind, the 21 UK schools where they're ahead is probably the likes of Eton, which puts them in government. And then they're the ones making the rules for everyone else. So, I mean, where do they want to lay blame for this situation? Because it's their government that's in control. I mean, how can you can't compare it to any other race? It's not a cultural issue, as this what they're trying to say, because they're the ones in government, cousin. You're part of the things, crazy cousin. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I heard, or I was reading something, the same, because of the stratification of society, right? All those people, and I've met those people, I've worked with those people, right? I'm sure we all have. When they come into the workplace, they know bo diddly about the rest of us. All the Etons and no disrespect to them and power to them, because, you know, they were fortunate enough to be born with the silver spoon. But their interactions with the rest of us sometimes is very bad. And this is where some of those policies come from, because if these are the people they groom to run the country as our politicians, I mean, look at the state of the politicians right now. Which party, which political party would you confidently vote for?
Do you know the thing about it?
They're out of touch.
Yeah,
they're out of touch.
But the older you get, the less faith you have in the politics. And it's because you're that much wiser. Whereas the youngsters would likely vote for a particular party or another because they haven't learned what we have learned with time. You know, we've learned that they're going to say this, say that, and do the other. We've learned the effect of the policies, which, you know, years down the road, it will catch up to you. You don't realize what the policy even means until years down the road. You're like, what has been learned? Well, you know, there's somebody at the top that's not reading between the lines properly, because this whole argument is a false narrative. It's a false narrative, and you know, we need to you know, just cross that off the list. It's not true, and not give it any more time. We've got so much more. We got so much more to be discussing. The absurdity of it is very sad. It's very, but that's what they do. It's called poking the bear. That's what they do. See what reaction they can get.
So does this mean we're going to have another riot this year in August?
That's for them business, because it's them that kick off the riot.
Because these people who are undereducated and don't really understand, no disrespect to them, each to their own.
Yeah.
But the minute they get riled up about something, it's the immigrant fault.
Yeah. Oh Lord, it's on. And but that's a narrative that's been put into their head from the white media. We have to see where it's coming from. You know.
Yeah, we
have to look at it. Couple other things to discuss, by the way, guys. The junk food. Have you noticed when giving your children or grandchildren certain foods, the reaction the children give back from foods? You know, have you had that? Have you seen that come to life? Real food having man up the things.
Yes, Sir Joseph of CEO. We have definitely seen the reaction of food, specifically ice poles.
Because
On
funny
that
you
li-
say that, some people say like Coke, you know, Coca-Cola, just don't give that to the picnic them gone mad. So you're saying ice pole,
Mr. Frosty, I'm naming him.
Mr. Frosty.
We took a trip one day. We were taking our grandson out. Handsome young man there on my background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have made keep giving him congratulations. He was 5 last week, but anyway, he did. I think he did already.
Last week, yeah.
So we thought, you know, it was a hot day, so we thought let's take some ice poles for him, keep him cool.
Mm.
So we gave him the first ice pole, and about 10 minutes after, he just started getting on really energetic and really wild. But he can be like that. Kids can be like that. So we never paid no mind. So about an hour passed, and we got somewhere else. We still hadn't arrived at our destination because we was traveling on transport. We gave him another ice pole. And within 10 minutes, this man started freaking out, going like energy can't done.
Yeah, good. There you have it.
And then another on our journey, we gave until we corresponded that usually when we give him an ice pole, he's in the park.
Right.
So he's in the park, he take the ice
anyway.
pole, he run up and down the whole park and come back, give him another one, innit?
Right.
But it's a direct result of the ice pole. He just started freaking out, or the sugar and whatever ingredients that's in it.
Yeah.
So
you noticed it on the third ice pole. Hang on a minute. There seems to be a sort of common thread.
No. Well, we noticed it on the first one, but by the time we got to the third one, then we really put the dots together because it was so blatant by then.
Right. Yeah. It was just
too
too
one
obvious.
minute he's sitting down calmly looking out the window, give him the ice pole, and all of a sudden he wants to jump all over the train.
He's not in the park, so obviously he's out of character. He's on a train, isn't it? If he was jumping about in the park, you might have said, well, you know what I mean, get a little burst of energy. But on the train, come on now. This is time
and he usually sits on the train so calm, looks out the window, see what's on view.
Yeah.
That's him on the train because he wants to see what's there to be seen.
Of course, look out the window. That's what the kids more likely do. They look out the window, see where they're going, see what they see. Shug says they are not voting. We still leaving our grandparents' age group. I think I might have missed that. That might have been a comment from before.
Yeah, I think that was a comment from before.
Oh, hence why our children not listen to us and gran even worse. Well, Shugs, I mean, the reason why the picnic them is not listening to us as much, we're a different generation. Also, the kids are a different generation. The kids now, it's hard to get their attention because they're so caught up on their phone. Social media, the internet, the TV, the radio. I mean, you don't even know what they're listening to in this day and age. So now it's hard. It's actually hard. You're fighting to get the children. You're fighting to get their attention. And they only tend to give the attention when they want something. That's so typical, isn't it? You know. But this food issue with the youth, it's not the first time we've heard it. You know, certain foods somehow affect the children's behavior, and parents are throwing their arms up and having to restrict the type of food, or be very well aware of the type of food that your children's eating, because not all food is good food. You know, just because the manufacturer decided to take, what did they do with the Cokes and all the drinks? They took the sugar out and they put some chemical, really, really sweet chemical. And then they added a few other things to make it taste the same. Now, just because that manufacturer, who's for profit, made the change, he wasn't considering how it would affect the kid, was he? You know. And of course, parents are left to carry the brunt of the situation when the children are bugging out in school. Check this one out, Jemmy. In school, when these children are coming out with, they got ADHD and DHD and all these different acronyms, right? Sometimes it could have been that they're eating certain foods going into the school, unaware of the effect that it's having on the, you know what I mean? Especially if they take a packed lunch, unaware of the effect that it's having. And now the child's in school, he's having one of these bars of chocolate candy or whatever it might be, and he's doing one.
Remember, back in the day, we didn't have total product descriptions of exactly what was in a product.
No.
Now we can look and see what products are in there, yeah, and we can Google to find out what they are and what they do, yeah. So more people are more aware of what exactly is going on. Number one, but number two, we're finding out that they're putting the ADHD and all these things is a result of heavy metals in our systems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's coming from the food.
yes, but the manufacturers are putting false heavy metals in the food. There's loads of well-known cereals, yeah, that you shouldn't eat. There's cereals that are on sale in the Western world, but if you go to Asia, they're banned because of the products that are in them. And then
Wouldn't
some of them,
surprise me.
or what they do in Asia, they take out the bad products and give you the proper thing.
When you say they take out the bad product, what do you mean?
What is that one thing that they use? I read about it this afternoon. You know, the name's gonna come back to me. It's like a sugar syrup product, for want of another word. But in the West, we have it in our food, but in the East, it's banned.
Right, and that's another thing. When you check it out, how some countries feed you a certain way, and other countries is a different process, and all of these things are linked to behavior. So the foods that are coming that we're receiving in our shops definitely 100% affect our behavior.
Well, the worst victim is most people's go-to, or a lot of people's favorite, is McDonald's.
Well, that's just bare chemicals. Everything about McDonald's is just chemicals, from the chips to the burger to the straw. You know.
This week, we saw a video of a gentleman who's had a McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese for 27 years.
Say that again.
This guy has had a McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese and French fries, and he's kept it on top of his fridge for 27 years. And it's authenticated, yeah, because McDonald's was advertising an event in America. I think it goes back to 2000 or 1998. Yeah, there was a specific event, and McDonald's was promoting that event. It's on the side of their packaging, and he's got the original packaging. The burger looks as good as it did last week.
Chemicals, bare chemicals.
The French fries mash up, but they still haven't rotted.
See it there?
They look like as if you had them in an ashtray and took them back out, the French fries, but they haven't biodegraded.
No, because it's bare chemicals. So, look, Sophia says cardboard food. It's absolute truth. Absolute truth. And the rise, cousin, the rise in ADHD and other neurological problems, it's down to the food. It's down to food. So careful what you eat. Junk food. If you're looking at the food descriptions, I think it's a lot of them E numbers, because you don't know what E133, 132. You don't know what these E numbers really are. From it got E, it must be chemical, though, isn't it? It must be. You don't find E in organic foods. I mean,
look, it's publicly known, yeah, that McDonald's make chicken McNuggets. But is it commonly known that chicken McNuggets are not just breast meat? They're made with skin, connective tissues, enriched wheat flour, cornstarch, yeast extract, spice and natural flavors. Now, this natural flavors thing, I watched another program this week. Now, when it says natural flavors, it's some form, I can't remember, but it's some form of animal product, yeah, which they have labeled as natural flavors, yeah. Don't rap with these people. They take a lot of products from animals to make colors of stuff.
Correct. Hold on a minute. When you talk about these natural flavors, because it's so misleading.
Yes.
You think natural flavors is like, when you boil the chicken, the juice that
the broth
comes out, yes, the broth. That's natural flavor of the chicken. But when they talk about natural flavors, they're manipulating stuff.
Yep.
And it's like, see, I got a belt I got two belts. This is a leather belt. It's leather through and through. Sometimes you get a belt and it's cardboard and they put a thin strip of leather on the top. And then they call it a leather belt. Just
Yep.
and that's what they do with the food. Natural flavors. You think it's one thing, but no. They may have taken a little bit of natural flavor, done what they done with it, and now really it's something else, but they're calling it natural flavor because it's an extract from a natural flavor.
Yep.
It's a madness. It's an absolute madness. So E numbers definitely to be avoided.
So I think here's a nice one for you. Everybody likes old Skittles, yeah?
Skittles. Oh yeah, that's too many colors in that.
Well, the red coloring and the red colors are made from the anus of which little creature is it? Is it a raccoon or something like that? But that's where they get the coloring from. Or the other red color is a live bacteria that they've crushed and dried out, and then they add it to the product to give it red.
Wow.
In America right now, you know what the big thing in America is right now? They are selling fake meat. Forget Elon Musk, man. He made that.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump, but we have to get onto this. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, who's aware of the fallout? I mean, I've only seen little clips. I was trying not to spend too much time on this, but who's aware of the fallout between Musk and can explain in some reasonable form what's happening? What caused it? Well, I mean, all of a sudden, what's going on?
Power struggle, Joe. Power struggle.
Yeah, but we know who the president is. We know who Musk is. So, you know, how's it going to work out? I mean, one needed the other. One needs the other. You know, it's not going to be a one-man show, or is it going to be? I don't know. Smiley, you got your hand up. Part of the things.
Yeah, very strange issue out there, and it's gonna drag on. It will drag on because Trump is not Trump. Yeah,
Well, he's not one for backing down.
Yeah, he's not going to back down. He's not going to back. He's the president, and he'll just stew on it. And it stems from, if I've got this correct, it stems from a bill that Trump's put forward to do with tax, increasing tax and borrow. It's nothing to do with the tariff, but it's to do with the American people and the industries. And he's put in a bill to increase the taxes and also increase the level of debt. And when Elon Musk left and this bill was coming to its fruition, Elon Musk put out a message on his X platform, citing, if that's the word, or going against Trump's thoughts on what he's putting forward, saying it's a crazy thing to do. It's something that it can't work, sort of like it'll just bankrupt the country or something. So then I think Trump got back at him to say, no, this is the bill, this, that, and the other. And then he said, and then it was tit for tat. Trump said one thing, Elon Musk said another, and then it got down to being a bit personal. First, it was about financial, and then it got a bit personal. Trump saying that Elon Musk must be mad, and then Elon Musk saying this, that, and the other. And then when Elon Musk then goes back and says something about you are cited or in the Epstein files, hence why it's never been released.
Right, everybody's all over that.
Yeah. So then Trump then also says that he's a madman, silly man. If he carries on in a way, so to speak, I will cancel his Tesla contracts through
hit him in the pocket.
And most importantly, close the, I think it's the EV, the electrical car contract and license that Elon Musk needs. But they're all saying that Trump needs Elon Musk and Elon Musk needs Trump. But he's threatening to cancel all his contracts with Elon Musk.
Tesla, because he's been favorable to Tesla. And apparently, even with the tariffs, Tesla's parts would have gone up because they come from overseas.
Yes.
I think there was some sort of pardon or some sort of maneuvering that Trump done to allow an exemption for Tesla.
Yeah, and I think Trump, Elon Musk knows that, but Elon Musk don't care how much it costs because he's got the money. He's got the money. However, what he will not want to happen is if Trump goes and signs that order and shows the public, I've signed an order to cancel all electrical bits and pieces that will affect the Tesla brand. Elon Musk has lost billions of pounds on the stock exchange already. Billions.
Well, here it is. The spat has already hit Tesla shares, which lost about $150 billion
You see?
in value, closing down 14%. Fancy that. He lost 150 billion. I think they said only less than 10 people have ever had that much money.
Yeah.
Let alone lose it.
Don't forget Elon Musk owns SpaceX, and it needs to import stuff as well to build their spaceships.
To go up in space. I mean, there's so much involved here. So this nonsense that these two men are going on with, it's literally making no sense. But it does seem to be that there is more behind it.
Much more coming forward. There will be more.
Yeah. So the coming weeks and months is really going to be telling. Hold on a minute, though. How is this now going to affect Alicia's got a hand up, the everyday people, the everyday man, the food in the shop, things, our normal way of life? Alicia, talk to things.
These are just two people who are very powerful. One leads the free world, the other one is a very, very wealthy man, and they do it to benefit themselves along with other very wealthy businessmen as well. Elon Musk, a lot of the projects that he has, the money's come from the government. And what really shocks me is that he was brought in by Trump to close down multiple government organizations because of the cost, because it was costing the country. No, Musk and all the other businesses, such as Amazon and all those other businesses, are the ones that are taking money from the government. The American people just don't understand what's happening at the moment.
No one does.
What's going on at the moment is two people having a tiff, and they don't care about they do not care about the people. All they care about is themselves.
Absolutely.
Period. Because Elon Musk is throwing his toys out of the bathwater because he thought at one point he was going to get exactly what he wanted if he joined truce with Trump. If he donated X amount of money, he was going to get all of these contracts from the government and get paid very, very well. Right? That's the whole point. It was an exchange they had agreed. And what's happened is Trump has put out all these different bills. It's affected his Tesla. It's affecting his businesses because it's costing. He has to pay. It's affecting his businesses. Now he's realizing after running on stage of a electric saw. Okay, talk about cuts. We need to make cuts. We need to make cuts. All right, it's affecting him. So now he's going, well, Trump, you messed up the economy. No, what are you saying? You're messing up my business.
Yes, of course.
It's messed up his business. So let them keep on fighting. People just sit back, watch, because these are two very, very narcissistic people who are playing out. They are playing out, and it's going to be a big change. It's quite interesting the way how their politics is going on. But on another hand, with regards to Tesla and what have you, I mean, Tesla got a lot of government funding.
Well, of course, yeah, that's it, yeah.
Look, government funding.
As,
Do you know what? This is the funny thing, right? You know when you hear the British government talking about, there's the spending is it costs a lot of people to be on benefits, we've got to cut benefits, got to do other stuff. And the people getting the best benefits are the wealthy people, the ones who are running businesses.
of course,
The prisons that come over here and take over what's it called? Big spaces and get tax and incentives for setting up businesses in England. Also, the water company, who's noticed that their water bill has gone up at least 50-20%?
50-100% talking about, yeah.
It's got a huge amount of money. And they're getting incentives from the government. They get, look, these governments,
It's a monopoly.
it just does your head in. It really, really does.
It's a monopoly. And we're paying. Everything's gone up, by the way. Everything gone up. If you take a minute to look, everything.
Gone up. And look, this is why I don't really care about what Trump and these other wealthy businessmen are having all these arguments on television, on Twitter, on YouTube and internet channels. Like the everyday man don't care. Like we're all wondering how we're going to pay our light, electricity, water, gas, and council tax, car tax, all this tax. We're trying to pay.
Tax and water and fines.
And water, and fines. You love your fines. You collect, so I know you're a collector.
Oh my Lord, and fines. And this is what's just it's ruining us. They're having this argument, and that's why I said, what's the effect going to be on the everyday man? Because you're going to watch 3-6 months down the road. Even now, the Brexit, you see how the effects of Brexit are so upon us, but they hide it. They don't talk about it.
Unfortunately, it's not just America. It's global.
It is global. Cousin, you jumped the queue, though. Jamie was waiting. You did jump the queue. Hold on.
Sorry, the one thing about it is that as long as the black people don't gain anything, the American people, some sections of the American people will vote for it. They will vote to keep the black man down. That's all. That's their basic premise, anyway.
And it's done in subliminal language, by the way. Unfortunately, Shamsi was here. We're able to decipher that language, like this white children being failed foolishness. That's their language that they're trying to get funding or to get a program in place or get this, that, or the other. When really they're trying to play with the statistic. Lie to Mattel. They do it all the time. Real food. Your hand is up. Start the things.
So Donald Trump once again has upset somebody, or he's upset a body, and the body that he's upset is FIFA. They said because of his policies, the Football World Cup is the biggest competition in the world, bigger than the Olympics, bigger than everything else put together, Super Bowl, the whole 9 yards. They've said that because of your policies, unless he changes them, America will not be able to host the World Cup.
When's the World Cup?
2030, 2 years' time, but I think it's the 2030 World Cup.
It's got to be 2026.
Yeah, 2020. No, it's the 2028 World Cup because we've got European Championships next year, I think.
So we're going to chuck a pin on Musk. We've given it a mention, and Trump. We really don't like to go into their politics too much because it's just crazy. We'll juke up in there and we'll see how this unfolds in the coming week. In the meantime, we want to talk a little bit about Patrice Lumumba. And apparently his remains are to return to the Congo. But who was he? Let's just have a deep dive. Let's see what they tell us about him. He was assassinated many, many years ago. But let's see what they have to tell us about Patrice Lumumba and him being returned to Congo. Let's see how far it gets, and we'll have a little chat afterwards.
Of Congo's anti-colonial movement.
There you go. There you go. As usual, what we learn is they kill off the people then that are making a difference, and then turmoil ensues, right? And whilst that turmoil is going on, the country is then being pillaged by its who? Its colonial master. You can't make this stuff up. How many times have we spoken about this? How many times have we seen this? How many times is This is just another person of color, Patrice Lumumba, that it's happened to. Gaddafi. I mean, there's a list of them that it's happened to. They just take over. Alicia, your hand is up. They just take over. It's just ridiculous. And then you just hear about it more and more. That's where we are today. Alicia, hand is up. Top things.
The sad thing is that between Brussels, Belgium, and the USA, they assassinated this man.
Yeah. Between them.
And Brussels is known, or Belgium is known, to have done some horrific things to Africans in that region. The rubber farming, decapitation of limbs, African people's limbs, millions of people's arms and legs decapitated, hands decapitated. It's a genocide of recent times that they've never been brought to justice, never been brought, never apologized for, and never been taken, questioned about it at all.
Same with the war in Nigeria, the Biafran war that we were talking about last week.
Biafra.
No account. It's forgotten. Happily so. No books written, no documentary, no.
Well, there are books written about it. Lots of books written about it, and about this as well.
But it's gone nowhere.
Is that it's just not an education. Unless you study African studies or anything like that, ethnic studies, in SOAS or one of those other universities, you're not going to learn about it because it's not a main subject.
Right. And what we're learning about is all the little distractions, so the real news can be hidden, not realizing, as the majority of people who are distracted don't realize, the real news affects your everyday life. This is life. They assassinated a man and put his body in acid. This is the government, and put his body in acid to this, and only a tooth remains. By the way, chat radio listeners, we have to say goodbye. It is our time. We do this each and every week. I mean, we barely just began having conversation. 2 hours is done. Good Lord. Listen, do join us the next time. Find us on TikTok. Find us on YouTube. Find us on the multiple radio stations and so on and so forth. But I'm being told our time is done. Even if you get to hear this, it's going to be a miracle. Love you and leave you. Goodbye for now.